Hello there, YouTube. This is my version of the Redneck cooler. This is actually my second one. For those of you that obviously have searched how to make a Redneck cooler, you know there's a whole bunch of different types of ways of making it. This is my particular version. My particular version, as all you have seen on YouTube, usually people buy a bilge pump. Uh, let the water suck through the bilge pump around the copper lines, and then actually back into the cooler, which you fill with ice, and that cools the water through. The problem with that is I found that no matter how well you do that, the ice will melt. Water will melt the ice. So I came up with my version of trying to make a complete closed water circuit, so that way the water will never touch the ice. The ice still freezes, or not freezes, will cool the water, and the water will travel through the copper lines, and your ice could last 2 to 3 days. So anyways, this is my version. I bought the copper at Home Depot, it's 20 feet. I bought the clear tubing at Home Depot, $10 for that. The copper line was 20 bucks. I had the cooler laying around, so that was free. I actually bought just a simple power inverter from Walmart. I think that was like $20-$30. So that's what actually powers the Walmart fan, which was like 30 bucks. Here are what I clip onto just a lawnmower or utility type of battery, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here when I open it. 1 second. So this is what I came up with. I got a little small tranny cooler. I bought a coolant reservoir and just a simple pond pump from Amazon. The pump was about $8 or $9. The reservoir tank was 10 or 11 bucks at O'Reilly Auto Parts store. And I found this little tranny cooler at CarQuest, another car parts store. So the concept here is that you fill the whole cooler with ice. The ice will cool the water at all times, but the water will never touch the ice. Therefore, the ice will last longer, plain and simple. So what I do here, I used to hook it up to this inlet right here, but I didn't have a good seal, and I learned that all you have to do is you have to prime this little pump. So the simplest way was for me just to pull this hose out, suck on it until there's enough water in flowing through the pump and into the tranny cooler, and then I just connect it to the battery, and it does after that, it just does it all on its own. So give me 1 second. Oh, by the way, I only have roughly half a gallon of water. This pump is really, really quiet, and it's unbelievable how well it works. So again, water travels below. There's an inlet or outlet right down here. Water travels up, in through the pump, out this way, through the tranny cooler, back out, and this hose goes through the copper line right here, and then it'll exit out this way, and it'll just recycle itself. It's unbelievable how well it works. Again, this is my second time making a Redneck cooler, air conditioning cooler, and I found that this was how well this works. I built this for my daughter. I took her to the beach for Memorial Weekend, so I needed a way that the ice will last a lot longer so my daughter can stay cool at the beach. She's only 3 months old, so I found that it worked incredibly well, and I'm here to share it. So again, give me 1 second so I can prime it for you. Can't do this and record at the same time, but again, all you have to do is take this hose, suck on it. It doesn't take much until there's enough water that travels into the pump and through the inside of the tranny cooler. Once you do that, you just plug in the positive to the battery, positive terminal, and then the ground to the ground terminal on the battery, and you turn on the inverter. So give me 1 second and I'll show you how that works. All right, folks, I'm gonna show you what I got to do real quick. You take this, put it in your mouth, suck into it, and you're gonna see water travel inside the pump. See, it doesn't take much. Once it's primed, you're gonna plug it into the positive of your inverter. And the water should do the rest. See how it's sucking? And you're gonna see water come out. So, doesn't take much. Again, I just put it inside the reservoir. Notice how there are 0 air bubbles. Practically no bubbles. Water is circulating through. Again, if you choose to do it this way or put it in here into the inlet of the coolant reservoir, it really does not matter. It's up to you. Again, you're going to see that all it took is less than half a gallon of water, and there's water circulating all the way through this little system that I put together. Again, you can fill this whole cooler full of ice, and the ice will last. It lasts me a day and a half, and I also filled this up with a case of beer. So I was opening it and closing it because I was at the beach, and it lasts me a day and a half. If you try it with the old method of a bilge pump, that just, you set it down here and you put a little bit of water, it works again, but the ice will melt. This way, if I didn't had cold drinks here, I would probably have the ice in here for probably 2.5, 3 days. So that means in a good weekend, that ice will last and you will stay cool. Again, it's all powered by an inverter where I've connected the fan. And for demonstration purposes, this is the battery that I used. And you hook it up to the proper terminal. And notice how quiet this little pump is and how well it works. Let me try to do this with one hand, but you move these lines. I made a little cut in the cooler cap. Fix that later. But I made a little hole right here, and that's where the lines come out. I'm going to turn this on. Where's it at? We have power. I'm going to turn on the fan. And there she is.